Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be working on the I do section of our research citations. The I do section of our research citations. If you have not yet completed the Before We Begin section, you'll need to go back to the previous tab on the top of the page and click on that one first. Please make sure you are doing these in order. It will really, really help you out in the end. It will also help so you do not miss anything. So today we're going to be learning how to create our research citations. So we've already learned how to find reliable sources and what makes a reliable source. So I'll go over the answers to our section from the Before We Begin. So what sources can be considered credible? So sources that were published within the last 10 years, so this is 2021, so anything published after 2011 can be considered credible. Sources that were written by respected authors that have an advanced understanding of the topic, so that's somebody who we know has an expertise in the field. Websites registered by government or educational institutions, so something that's .gov, .edu, .ac, .org, sometimes .org. We have to check on those. If you're confused, you can always email me and ask. Academic databases, we've used those in class a bit, so if you look on Google Classroom, you can find some. And then sources found using Google Scholar. We also have looked at those before in class. If you are confused, there is a whole section on Google Classroom about how to use Google Scholar. So what sources should be avoided? Now, this is what we wrote in our Google drawing in our previous section. So out-of-date sources, posts from social media. We do not use any sort of social media. Even if I didn't list it on here, if it's social media, we are not going to use it. Blogs, even blogs that are on credible websites like medical blogs, those are still not credible sources. Sources with research pieces, except they do not have citations listed. If they just came up with all that information off the top of their head, even if they're an expert, it might not be the most credible source if they didn't reference anything. And then most websites ending in .com or .net. So you were asked to complete two things on your Google form on the previous page, and these are some of the answers you could have given. So what does reliable mean for a reliable source? Something that is of good quality and can be trusted. So we know that it is a credible source because of all the things listed on the previous slide, and also that it's just a good quality source that we can use for our research. Because all of the sources we're using for our research, we are going to cite and quote and reference throughout our whole research essay that we're going to write after this lesson. So examples of not credible sources. This is another thing you had to write on your Google drawing. So probably one of the biggest examples you gave was Wikipedia, some YouTube videos if they're not credible, Quizlet, SparkNotes, anything similar where you can get information off and people have already done it for you for free. And then any personal website, a website made just for one person for a personal reason, such as the website that I made for you guys. While it may be a good website for us, it's probably not a credible source for anything else that you want to use it for. So we're going to create a research citation. We'll be using all these citations from this activity to help write our research papers. So we will need 3 citations to write our research papers. We'll create one all together. You'll create one with some guidance, and then you'll create one by yourself. So there are 5 components when creating a research citation. The first one is the author or organization that created the source. Now, these do go in order of how you should create them. The title of the website or the book, the publisher of the source, the date the website was published or the book was published, and the website address. Now, if it is a book source, you do not have to have number 5 because there's probably not a website. But if it is a website, which my guess is most of us will use websites, then you do need to have number 5. So the first component is the author or organization that created the source. Now we need to write the author with their last name first. So their last name should go first in our citation, comma, and then their first name. However, the organization can just be written just how it is. Now, not every source will have an author. Not one person writes every single article. Sometimes it's a group, and it's a collaborative effort to write that information down. So sometimes the organization is the one who is the author as a whole of the website or the book. So our example is mightymac.org. You can click on that website on our lesson plan. You can click on it and you can visit that website and get all of this information that I'm going to tell you right now. So the author on that website is Keith Stokes. Now we've determined that he is a credible source because he is the president of the Mighty Mac Group. So Keith Stokes, we would write for our citation, we would write Stokes, comma, Keith. So we write his last name first and his first name goes at the end. Now afterwards, we will put a period. You can pause this video at any time to take notes or copy down this information. You can also play this video as many times as you want. The second component of a good citation is the title of the website or the book. We need to write the title just as it's written. So remember, in our capitalization practice early in the year, most important words or all important words in the title should be capitalized. For some reason, if they are not capitalized in the title of the website or the organization, just write them how they are, but know that most important words that are 4 letters or more, will probably be capitalized. So please make sure you're checking your capitalization. So again, we're using mightymac.org, and the title of this website page is Mackinac Bridge. Pretty easy. So we are going to write Mackinac Bridge, capital letters on the M and the B, and we're going to write a period afterwards. The third component of a good citation is the publisher of the website or book. Now, some of you have asked, what's a publisher? Why do we need to know that, Mrs. Wilson? Well, the publisher is responsible for getting the information out in the world and even to you. You probably wouldn't find that website or that book without the publisher. So we need to give them credit for their work. The publisher could be a singular person or an organization. And we'll be using the same website, and the publisher is the Mighty Mac Group. So we should write Mighty Mac Group, period. The word the is not part of that citation, so we just write Mighty Mac Group. Capital M, capital G, and a period at the end. The fourth component of a good citation is the date the website or the book was published or last updated. So the date is important to tell if the source is credible and reliable. Remember, it can't be within more than the last 10 years. So the date should be written as month, day, comma, year, the same way we write it on top of all of our documents in class and the same way it's written on the board and on Google Classroom. However, sometimes the website only gives us the year because they update their website so often that the date would change really quickly. So for this website that we're using, mightymac.org, they update their website pretty often. And so the last updated website was 2017, and they just gave us the year. It's all the way at the bottom of the page if you're on the website. So we would write 2017, period. Remember, there's a period after all of these pieces of research citations. The fifth component of a good citation is the website address. Now, we talked about how to copy website addresses in class, but just in case, you go all the way up to the search bar, you highlight the whole thing. If you click on it on your Chromebook, it should highlight automatically. And you can either hit the Control-C for copy, or you can hit right-click and scroll down to copy. So you just copy the website address exactly how it comes, and it should link the website for you. If it doesn't, it's okay. So the website address is important so that other people interested in learning more information about your topic can also view the website and learn all the cool information that you learned. Once we figured out the 5 components of the citation, we just need to put them in order. So they do go in order of the way we talked about it. So the author or organization, if it's an organization, the title, the publisher, the date, and then the website address. Now, some of you are probably saying, Mrs. Spalding, that's a lot of work. That's a ton of information. So even though it seems like a lot of information, there are some easy ways to remember it. There's 2 different things we can do. Now, the first one is the acronym ATPDW. Author, title, publisher, date, and website. Now, there's a saying that I really like that I learned that says, always take potatoes to Disney World. So the A, the always, it's author. The take is title. The potatoes is publisher. 2 is nothing, so it's lowercase. The D is the date. Disney is the date. And world is the website. So if it helps you to remember, always take potatoes to Disney World, you can say that saying. It helps me remember a lot. So go ahead and work on your I do section if you'd like to view that website or watch this video again. If you are all set and you feel confident and you're at a scale 3 or a scale 4, you can go ahead and move on to the we do section.